Hare Krishna, Panduranga Priya Prabhu, Padma Malini Mataji, Dandavad Pranam. Thank you so much for joining. Hare Krishna, Sagar Prabhu, Dandavad Pranam. Am I audible to all of you? Hare Krishna. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Moktika Mataji, Jagannath Prabhu, Dandavad Pranam. Satya Mataji, Advaita Pranam Prabhu. Maithili Mataji, Dandavad Pranam. Thank you so much for joining. So let us start our session. Om Ajnanathmirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitum Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nidhi Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschata Desatarini Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namini Gurati Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhu Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Sivasadi Gaurabhattavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, chapter number 24, chanting the song sung by Lord Shiva. Let's have a small recap. What is we are seeing that Rudra Gita, how Pracheta meet Lord Shiva, and how what is the Rudra Gita all about. So we are seeing that the first 15 slokas we have seen the genealogical history of Prithu Maharaj. 16 to 32 we are going to see the Prachetas meet the Lord Shiva. We are going to start 28th sloka on the Lord first. 32 to 68 will be the Rudra Gita. Is going to see. So genealogical line of Prithu Maharaj we are seeing. And Prachetas meet the Lord Shiva. And Vidura asks questions, how did they meet Lord Shiva? And it describes the description of the lake, the appearance of the Lord Shiva there. Shiva is pleased, and it is mentioned that devotion to Krishna is dear to Lord Shiva, and starts giving the instructions. So 33 to 43 gives the obeisances to the Lord in the form of Chaturviha. The first Lord is praised in Chaturviha form. So text number 33 gives the Lord's quality as a self-realized soul. Sorry, self-realized. So 34, 35, then 36, we can see the Chaturviha, Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. So these are the presiding deities of consciousness, false ego, intelligence, and mind. Where the Lord's role is controller of the senses and the sense object, is a master of the disintegration, enlightener of the universe, director of the mind. Actually, before going to Rudra Gita, he glorifies Lord, Supreme Personality of God. So let me. So we are into the 28th sloka. Hare Krishna, Padma Malini Mataji, text number 28. First two paragraphs.
Hare Krishna Guruji. Translation. Lord Shiva continued, any person who is surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, the controller of everything, material nature as well as the living entity, is actually very dear to me. Purport. Now Lord Shiva explains the reason he has personally come before this princes. It is because all the princes are devotees of Lord Krishna, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 7.19. Bahunam janmanamante jnanva mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti matma surdharlava. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. Lord Shiva is rarely seen by common men, and similarly, a person who is fully surrendered unto Vasudeva Krishna is also very rarely seen, because a person who is fully surrendered unto the Supreme Lord is very rare. Sa Mahatma Sudurlava. Consequently, Lord Shiva came especially to see the Prachetas because they were fully surrendered unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. Vasudeva is also mentioned in the beginning of Shrimad Bhagavatam in the mantra Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Since Vasudeva is the ultimate truth, Lord Shiva openly proclaims that one who is the devotee of Lord Vasudeva, who is surrendered to Lord Krishna, it's actually very dear to him. Lord Vasudeva Krishna is worshipable not only by ordinary living entities but by demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, and others. Yam Brahma, Varandra, Rudra, Murtuha, Satunvanti, Divyaha, Satvaha. Krishna is worshipped by Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Varuna, Indra, Chandra, and all other demigods. This is also the situation with a devotee. Indeed, one who takes a Krishna consciousness immediately become very dear to anyone who is simply finding out and beginning to understand what Krishna consciousness actually is. Similarly, all the demigods are also trying to find out who is actually surrendered to Lord Vasudeva. Because the Pracheta princes were surrendered to Vasudeva, Lord Shiva willingly came forth to see them. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Pandal Priya to explain.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Lord Vasudeva or Krishna is described in Bhagavad Gita as Purushottama. Actually, he is the enjoyer, Purusha, and he is supreme Uttama as well. He is enjoyer of everything. The Prakriti and the Purusha being influenced by the three modes of material nature by living entities tries to dominate material nature. But actually, he is not the Purusha, enjoyer, but Prakriti. As described in Bhagavad Gita 7.5. Aprayam itastva anyam prakritim vidhi me pram. Thus, the jiva or living entity is actually Prakriti or the material energy of the Supreme Lord being associated with the material energy. He tries to lord it over the material nature. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 15.7. Mamayiva swajiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana manas sasthanendriyani prakriti sthani karsati. The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which includes the mind. By endeavoring to dominate material nature, the living entity simply struggles hard for existence. Indeed, he struggles so hard to enjoy himself that he cannot even enjoy the material resources. Thus, he is sometimes called Prakriti or Jiva, for he is situated in the marginal potency. When the living entity is covered with the three modes of material nature, he is called Jiva Sammanjita. There are two kinds of living entities. One is called Kshara and other is called Akshara. Kshara refers to those who have fallen down and becomes conditioned. And Akshara refers to those who are not conditioned. Thus, vast majority of living entities live in the spiritual world and are called Akshara. They are in the position of Brahman, pure spiritual existence. They are different from those who have been conditioned by the three modes of material nature. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Sagar, next paragraph. Hare Krishna, Sagar.
I will read the next sloka, please.
Yeah. Okay. Hare Krishna, Maithili, next.
Hare Krishna. Endure
being
to
able.
do material.
Being above the Kshara.
Being above both the karma and kasa, Lord Krishna Vasudeva is described in Bhagavad Gita 15.18 as Purushottama. The impersonality list may say that Vasudevan is the impersonal Brahman, but actually the impersonal Brahman is subordinating of to Krishna as a confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 14.27. Brahman hai Pratishama, that Krishna is the source of the impersonal Brahma is also confirmed in Brahma Smahit 5.40. Yash Brahma Prabhuvatyam Jadhan Koti. The impersonal Brahma is nothing but the effulgence of or bodily ray of Krishna, and in those bodily rays there are innumerable universe floating. Thus, in all the respect, Vasudevan Krishna is the supreme Lord, and Lord Shiva is very satisfied with those who are completely surrendered to him. Complete surrender is desired by Krishna, as he indicates in that in the last chapter of Bhagavad Gita 18.16. Sarva dharma parityama ma ekam swaram varaj. The word saksata meaning directly, it is very significant. There are many so-called devotees, but actually they are only karmas and jhanas, for they are not directly devotees of the Lord Krishna. The Krishna sometimes offer the results of their activities to Lord Vasudevan, and this offering is called karma from. They are considered to be fructified activities for the karmas, considering Lord Vishnu to be one of the domain god like Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, because they consider Lord Vishnu to be on the same level in the Dharma god. They contended the surrendering to the Dharma god is as good as surrendering unto Vasudevan. This consistency is designed herein because if it were true, Lord Shiva would have said that surrender unto him, Lord Vasudeva, and whoever else surrenders onto Vasudevan is very, very dear to him. This is expressed herein openly. The conclusion is that devotees of Lord Shiva is not dear to Lord Shiva, but a devotee of Lord Krishna is very dear to Lord Shiva. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Mauthiga Mata, text number 29.
Hare Krishna. Translation. A person who executes his occupational duty properly for 100 births becomes qualified to occupy the post of Brahma. And if he becomes more qualified, he can approach Lord Shiva. A person who is directly surrendered unto Lord Krishna or Vishnu in unalloyed devotional service is immediately promoted to spiritual planets. Lord Shiva and other demigods attain these planets after destruction of this material world. Purport. This verse gives an idea of the highest perfection of evolutionary process. As described by Vaishnava poet Jayadev Goswami, Pradaya Payodi Jale Dritvan Asi Vedham. Let us begin tracing the evolutionary process from the point of devastation, Pradaya, when the whole universe is filled with water. At that time, there are many fishes and other aquatics, and from these aquatics evolve creepers, trees, etc. From these insects and reptiles evolve and from them birds, beasts, and human beings, and finally civilized human beings. Now, the civilized human being is at a junction where he can make further evolutionary progress in spiritual life. Here it is stated, Swadharma Nishtaha, that when a living entity comes to a civilized form of life, there must be Swadharma, social divisions according to one's work and qualifications. This is indicated in Bhagavad Gita 4.13. Chaturvarna Maya system, Guna Karma Vibhagasha. According to the three modes of material nature and the work ascribed to them, the four divisions of human society were created by me.
Hare Krishna. Jagannath, next one.
Hare Krishna. In civilized human society, there must be the divisions of Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra, and everyone must properly execute his occupational duty in accordance with his division. Here it is described Swadharma Nishtaha, that it does not matter whether one is a Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Shudra. If one sticks to his position and properly execute his particular duty, he is considered a civilized human being. Otherwise, he is no better than an animal. It is also mentioned herein that whoever executes his occupational duty, swadharma, for 100 births. For instance, if Brahman continues to act as a Brahmana, becomes eligible for promotion to Brahmaloka, the planet where Lord Brahma lives. There is also a planet called Sivaloka or Sadasivaloka, which is situated in a marginal position between the spiritual and material worlds. If after being situated in Brahmaloka, one becomes more qualified, he is promoted to Sadasivaloka. Similarly, when one becomes even more qualified, he can attain the Vaikuntha Lokas. The Vaikuntha Lokas are targets for everyone, even the demigods, and they can be attained by a devotee who has no desire for material benefit. As indicated in Bhagavad Gita 8.16, one does not escape material miseries even if he is elevated to Brahmaloka. Brahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravartata Arjuna. Similarly, one is not very safe even if he is promoted to Sivaloka, because the planet of Sivaloka is marginal. However, if one attains Vaikuntha Loka, he attains the highest perfection of life and the end of the evolutionary process. Mam upateya kaunteya punarjanma na vidyate. In other words, it is confirmed herein that a person in human society who has developed consciousness must take to Krishna consciousness in order to be promoted Vaikuntha Loka or Krishna Loka immediately after leaving the body. त्यक्त्वादेनं पुनर्जन्म नचिमामेति so Arjuna. Bhagavad Gita 4.9. A devotee who is immediately after leaving the body is fully Krishna consciousness, who is not attracted by any other loka or planet, including Brahmaloka and Sivaloka, is immediately transferred to Krishna Loka, Mam Eti. That is the highest perfection of life and the perfection of the evolutionary process. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Satsijamati, text number 30, first paragraph. Hare Krishna, Satsijamati, for Advaita Pranapalu.
Hare Krishna. Translation. You are all devotees of the Lord, and as such, I appreciate that you are as respectful as the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. I know in this way that the devotees also respect me and that I am dear to them. Thus, no one can be as dear to the devotees as I am. It is said, Vaishnavanam Yata Shambhu. Lord Shiva is the best of all devotees. Therefore, all devotees of Lord Krishna are also devotees of Lord Shiva. In Vrindavana, there is Lord Shiva's temple called Gopishwara. The gopis used to worship not only Lord Shiva but Katyayani or Durga as well, but their aim was to attain the favor of Lord Krishna. A devotee of Lord Krishna does not disrespect Lord Shiva but worships Lord Shiva as the most exalted devotee of Lord Krishna. Consequently, whenever a devotee worships Lord Shiva, he prays to Lord Shiva to achieve the favor of Lord Krishna, and he does not request material profit. In Bhagavad Gita 7.20, it is said that generally people worship demigods for some material profit. Kamaistaistair Shratagnyanaha Prapadyantenya Devata. Driven by material lust, they worship demigods, but a devotee never does so. for he is never driven by material lust. That is the difference between a devotee's respect for Lord Shiva and an asura's respect for him. The asura worships Lord Shiva, takes some benediction from him, misuses the benediction, and ultimately is killed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who awards him liberation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Advaita Prabhu. Next one. Hare Krishna, is he available?
Yeah, he's just a second.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Because Lord Shiva is a great devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he loves all the devotees of the Supreme Lord. Lord Shiva told the Prachetas that because they were devotees of the Lord, he loved them very much. Lord Shiva was not kind and merciful only to the Prachetas. Anyone who is devotee of Supreme Personality of Godhead is very dear to Lord Shiva. Not only are the devotees dear to Lord Shiva, but he respects them as much as he respects the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Similarly, devotees of Supreme Lord also worship Lord Shiva as the most dear devotee of Lord Krishna. They do not worship him as a separate personality of Godhead. It is stated in the list of Nam Aparadas that it is an offense to think that the chanting of the name of Hari and the chanting of Hara or Shiva are the same. The devotees must always know that Lord Vishnu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and that Lord Shiva is his devotee. The devotee should be offered respect on the level of Supreme Personality of Godhead and sometimes even more respect. Indeed, Lord Rama, the Personality of Godhead himself, sometimes worshipped Lord Shiva. If a devotee is worshipped by the Lord, why should a devotee not be worshipped by other devotees on the same level with the Lord? This is the conclusion. From this verse, it appears that Lord Shiva blesses the asuras simply for the sake of formality. Actually, he loves one who is devoted to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Sadhu, text number 31.
Hare Krishna. Text 31. Now I shall chant one mantra, which is not only transcendental, pure, auspicious, but is the best prayer for anyone who is aspiring to attain the ultimate goal of life. When I chant this mantra, please hear it carefully and attentively. The word Viviktam is very significant. No one should think of the prayers recited by Lord Shiva is being sectarian because they are very confidential. So much so that anyone desiring the ultimate prosperity of or auspicious goal of life must take the instructions of Lord Shiva and pray to and glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the Lord Shiva himself did. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Pushkara, text number 32.
Hare Krishna, text 32 translation. The great sage Maitreya continued, out of his causeless mercy, the exalted personality Lord Shiva, a great devotee of Lord Narayana, continued to speak to the king's sons, who were standing with folded hands. Purpose: Lord Shiva voluntarily came to bless the sons of the king as well as do something beneficial for them. He personally chanted the mantra so that the mantra would be more powerful, and he advised that the mantra be chanted by the king's sons, Rajaputras. When a mantra is chanted by a great devotee, the mantra becomes more powerful. Although the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is powerful in itself, a disciple upon initiation receives the mantra from his spiritual master. For when the mantra is chanted by the spiritual master, it becomes more powerful. Lord Shiva advised the sons of the king to hear him attentively, for inattentive hearing is offensive.
Okay. So we will stop it here for the day. I have some other session. Thank you so much for joining today's reading session. Hare Krishna, Maithili Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam. Thank you so much for joining. Panduranga Priya Prabhu and Padma Malini Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, धन्यवाद प्रणाम।
भौतिका माता जी, जगन्नाथ प्रभु धन्यवाद प्रणाम, सत्य माता जी, अद्वैत प्रभु धन्यवाद प्रणाम, सागर प्रभु धन्यवाद प्रणाम। Thank you, Pushkala, for joining. वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। We'll meet tomorrow with text number 3. Thank you so much.